in a year's time, where are you in your business, in your career, in your finances? Where are you in those specific avenues? Write them down, look at them every day, and this list will change your life. And before you start wholesaling, I want you to do this. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Christina Townsend. Please, before we go any further, like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you just landed here, please subscribe. We're on our journey to 1,000 subscribers. At 1,000, I will be doing a giveaway of some sort of whatever you guys would like. Comment down below what you think the giveaway should be. So I hope you guys are having a great, blessed week so far. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what are the key things that you need to know first before you get your hands into real estate. I'm just going to be sharing the tips that I use prior to getting started, the tips that I wish I knew prior to getting started, so I could have been along a little bit further and I could have knew what I had in my pocket right now on how I can get started and start a little bit further than anyone else getting started in this industry. So let's just jump right into this video. My first tip is, how much time do you have to give to this? We can't go any further if we have no idea how much time we can actually put aside to make this business work. And it will work if you work it. If we don't have time and we're just saying we want to get started and we do it here and there, we do it one day a week, it's just not going to work. You have to work something for it to work. So you have to be clear with how much time you have and how much time you want to devote to it. It could be 1 hour a day. It could be 5 hours a day. It could be however many hours or minutes you have in the day to give to this, but you have to make it clear, because if it's not a priority, it won't happen. You have to make it a priority for anything to happen in life. So when you are going through this transition and knowing that you want to get into this field, make sure you tell yourself, okay, this is how much time I'm going to give to this. For me, when I first started out, I had a lot of time in the day, so I gave a lot of time to it. I worked basically 8 hours a day on wholesaling, Monday through Friday, because I enjoyed it and I had the time to give. And I knew I wanted to make that transition. Now that my time is different, I definitely accolade different times, but I also created different streams and different systems that allowed me to take myself out of it and give me back my time, but I allow someone else to do a lot of the stuff I was doing. And that will grow with your business, and that will grow when you grow. So don't stress yourself right now. It will happen. I started at point A, I'm not there anymore. And now I'm at point B. So I started off giving 8 hours, but I was able to build my business where now I don't have to give as much time to it. I hire people where I need the time back. So it is a blessing to do so, but it is also something you have to sacrifice in the beginning first. So how much time do you have to give to this? I don't know who you are. I don't know what your schedule looks like. I don't know if you're working a 9 to 5, if you're a stay-home mom like myself, if you're a teenager, if you're a college student, if you're just anyone who's looking into getting into real estate. It is important to say individually who I am and the stuff I have to do on a day-to-day basis. How much can I give to this today? And I do think you should be spending Monday through Friday, every single day, at least, I believe, an hour on wholesaling. If you don't have that, to be honest, I wouldn't tell you to start right now, because you do need at least an hour to give, if it is cold calling, if it's driving for dollars, if it's whatever system or marketing system you're using, if it's writing mail cards, to give yourself that hour to do so and to make an impact on. So I think it's really important to accolade your time and be honest with yourself. It's so important to be honest with yourself. Don't tell yourself you have 5 hours and you don't have 5 hours. Be very, very honest with yourself when you're actually writing down. And I think you should write it down, how much time you have in the day. Don't just put in your head, oh, I have 2 hours, I'm going to do it every day for 2 hours. No, write it down, write it in your schedule, your planner, whatever you use, write it down and let yourself see it every day that this is what you're going to give to benefit and to fuel this business or this avenue in my life. Number 2, learn your market. I don't think you should be jumping into anything you have no idea about. I definitely think you should be doing some reading prior. Learn first, because it will help you in the end. It will actually help you know what you can price something way better. You're not starting where every other wholesaler is starting. You're not making the same mistakes as every other wholesaler. It is so important to, if you can, read and learn your market prior to getting started, and write it down. Get a notebook and write them down. Because when you're making these calls and you're calling buyers or sellers, you can have these physical notes with you, and it will tell them that you're educated on what you're doing. Even if you tell them you started 2 days ago to 6 months ago to 3 years ago to 10 years ago, it will make a difference when they know you know what you're talking about. That you didn't just jump into this industry just to make money, but you actually jumped into it to make a difference and to actually give to what you're doing. So it's super important to know what you're doing when you get into anything. You shouldn't go into anything blind. I don't believe that. So know how much time you can give to this. Take a little bit of time prior to starting wholesaling to first learn about your market and what areas you want to wholesale in, and what is selling and what's not selling in your market, and why has something sat on the market for so long? Why is an area people flooding in and flooding out of? It is so important to know this. Number 3, know how much money you can actually spend to give some time back to yourself right now. If it's only you that you have right now, then use you. That means you're the cold caller, you're the driver, you're the person pulling the list, you're the person doing everything right now for your business. It's okay. That's how we all tend to start, and that's how I started. So it is completely okay. But I know there are so many people that start with already having a cold caller on board. I have cold caller now, but it wasn't something I had before. And because now I see that time that I took to make those phone calls, I don't have those hours anymore. And now I realize that from that tip number 1 that I told you, knowing how much time you can accolade, it goes with this tip, knowing how much you can spend. So if you don't have much time to accolade, but you have some money you can spend, you can hire the cold caller, and then now you get back your time, and now you can do something else with your time. So you have to know what you can spend. Do you want to spend on getting lists? Do you want to spend on calls? Do you want to spend on marketing? What is it that you can give to, right? And how much money do you have right now that you can put aside to make this business work? It is so important to make that clear within yourself before starting, so you can start either before, you can start ahead of a lot of other people. If you know that you at least have $200 that you can spare every 2 weeks to give to someone else. And it's so important to know that, because back then, if I knew that, I did have that to spend. I didn't need to sit down and make the calls that I made, but I didn't necessarily look into what I could actually invest in this business to make it grow sooner. But when I did learn that, I truly jumped on board and I did do it. And it made a big difference in my time and what I chose to spend my time on. And I was able to get also a better volume of calls and reports back from the cold caller, because they were doing that specifically, which is really nice for you. Moving on to my next tip. Tip number 4, very, very important. This should have been my number 1 tip, but know why you want to get into wholesaling. It is so important to anything you want to do in this life to know why you're doing it, because that will fuel the engine at the end of the day. That will keep you going. That will push you when you don't want to keep going. Because when you are sitting and making calls or driving or doing something you don't really want to do or don't see the current return, it is very tough to keep going. But when you know your why and why you're doing something, the bottom line and why you have to keep doing what you're doing, it pushes you forward. So I'm telling you guys, write down your why on that same sheet of paper that you're writing down, the time you can calculate, how much you can spend to this, what your market demands right now and what is going on in your market. Write down your why and why you got to keep going and make this work. It will change the game for you. It will change the way you approach every phone call, every driving for dollars, everything that you do in this industry and in this career will change the game for you if you write it down. If you write down your why and keep it at the forefront of your mind anytime you're feeling discouraged for any reason, because it is tough at first. If you're trying to get the hang of how to speak to sellers, how to get buyers, it can be tough. But just like anything else, it is worth it. You gotta keep going and know your why. Last but not least, final tip, number 5, write down your goal for a year time. What does a year from now look like for you? How many deals are you getting? What systems do you have in place? Make clear, not just I'm making $100,000. No, Make it clear. What are the systems you have in place? How much money are you spending? How much money are you bringing in? Who and what have you made a connection with? What areas do you really want to focus on? In a year's time, where are you in your business, in your career, in your finances? Where are you in those specific avenues? Write them down, look at them every day, and this list will change your life. And before you start wholesaling, I want you to do this. These 5 tips are what you need to do before you get started, before you pick up the phone, before you do anything, before your first check. Make these 5 things clear. And I promise you, you will see your business skyrocket within the month, because it is those things that we actually intentionally do that change our life. Before you intentionally start to take the time out to intentionally sit down and see what you want for your life and what you want to take out of this and how much time you're actually willing to put into this will change the game for you. It will give you a head start to any other wholesaler out there. If you really truly love these tips, or anything that I've said have given you some kind of push or spark to start real estate, or just think of the idea of maybe gaining some kind of financial edge or another stream of income, please subscribe to this channel, like this video so it can get out to more people, and leave a comment down below of anything that I said that you guys want me to talk about a little bit more, or any other videos you want me to do. Anything, I'm open. Send me an email at thewealthysahmre@gmail.com if you have any questions. God bless you. Have a blessed rest of your day. Don't forget to subscribe. At 1,000 subscribers, we will be doing that giveaway. God bless you all. Bye.